Do you ever feel like your energy just isn't what it used to be? Like no matter what you do, something feels off. Maybe your workouts aren't as strong, your focus is slipping, or your confidence just isn't where it used to be. What if I told you that the reason behind it might not be what you think? And what if fixing it could be simpler than you ever imagined? Stay with me, because by the end of this, you'll have the answers and the solutions you need to turn things around fast. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe so you never miss out on the science-backed insights that could change your health for good. Now, let's talk about something a lot of men ignore: performance. Not just in the gym, but in every area of life. If you've noticed a drop in stamina, drive, or recovery, there's a reason. And no, it's not just aging. It's what's happening inside your body right now that's slowing you down. You see, performance isn't just about working harder, it's about working smarter. And if your hormones, circulation, or even stress levels are out of balance, you could be fighting an uphill battle without even knowing it. One of the biggest culprits? Low testosterone. It's something no one likes to talk about. But here's the truth. Your body naturally starts producing less of it after your mid-20s. But it's not just about age. Diet, stress, and even sleep habits play a huge role. The problem? When testosterone drops, so does everything else. Your energy, your endurance, your ability to recover, even your motivation. But here's the good news. Your body isn't broken. You can turn this around. And the first step? Understanding what's causing it. Now, here's where most people go wrong. They think fixing performance is about taking supplements, lifting heavier, or pushing harder, but that's like trying to drive a car with no gas. If you're not giving your body the right fuel, the right recovery, and the right balance, you're never going to hit your peak. That's why the first thing we need to look at is nutrition. Because what you're eating, or not eating, could be the reason you're feeling sluggish, drained, or even unmotivated. Let's talk about the foods that are quietly sabotaging your performance. You might think you're eating healthy, but did you know that some of the so-called best foods for energy are actually wrecking your hormones? Take soy, for example. It's in everything: protein bars, snacks, even some so-called health foods. But here's what they don't tell you. It's loaded with phytoestrogens. These are compounds that mimic estrogen in the body. And what happens when estrogen levels go up? Testosterone goes down. And that means slower recovery, lower energy, and yes, a serious hit to performance. But it's not just soy. Processed carbs, like the ones in most breads, cereals, and snacks, spike your blood sugar. And when that crash comes, so does the fatigue. The worst part? High blood sugar leads to more insulin production. And more insulin? That leads to more fat storage and less testosterone. So if you've been wondering why that stubborn belly fat won't budge, or why your energy crashes in the afternoon, this is why. But here's the twist. One of the worst things for male performance isn't just diet, it's stress. When you're under chronic stress, your body pumps out cortisol, the stress hormone. And cortisol, it's a testosterone killer. That means the more stressed you are, the harder it is to build muscle, burn fat, and keep your drive strong. So if you're always feeling on edge, drained, or like you're running on empty, it's not just in your head, it's your body telling you something's off. Now, let's talk about something that might surprise you: sleep. Because if you're getting less than 6 hours a night, you could be cutting your testosterone levels in half. That's not an exaggeration. Studies show that poor sleep is one of the fastest ways to tank your hormone levels. And the worst part? It's a vicious cycle. Less sleep means more stress. More stress means less testosterone. And less testosterone? Well, that affects everything. But the good news? Fixing it might be easier than you think. So what's the solution? How do you get your performance back? First, it starts with cutting out the things that are wrecking your hormones. That means getting rid of processed junk, avoiding hidden estrogen boosters like soy, and making sure your meals aren't spiking your blood sugar. But that's just the beginning. You also need to be fueling your body with the right nutrients. Healthy fats, like those from eggs, avocados, and olive oil, actually help boost testosterone production. And protein? It's not just for muscle. It's for hormone health too. But here's the real game changer: exercise. And no, I don't mean just lifting weights. The type of exercise you do matters. Compound movements, like squats, deadlifts, and sprints, aren't just good for muscle. They actually boost testosterone naturally. But here's the catch: overtraining does the opposite. If you're pushing too hard, without enough recovery, you're actually making things worse. That's why balance is everything. The right training, the right recovery, and the right fuel. And finally, the easiest fix of all? Sleep. If you do one thing after watching this, make it this. Prioritize your sleep. Get at least 7 hours. Cut out blue light before bed. And if stress is keeping you up, find ways to manage it. Meditation, deep breathing, even just taking a walk can make a huge difference. Now you might be wondering, what's the fastest way to fix this? How do you start seeing results right away? That's exactly what we're about to dive into next. Because now that you know what's holding you back, it's time to fix it for good. But first, let me know in the comments, what's been your biggest struggle? Energy, focus, drive? Let's talk about it. Now that you know what's been slowing you down, it's time to talk about solutions. Real, practical changes that can get your performance back to where it should be and beyond. Because here's the truth, you don't have to accept low energy, sluggish workouts, or fading motivation as just part of life. Your body is built to perform. You just need to give it what it needs. Let's start with the one thing that can make or break your progress: circulation. Because no matter how strong you are, if your blood flow isn't optimized, your body can't deliver oxygen and nutrients efficiently. That means weaker workouts, slower recovery, and, yes, performance issues in other areas too. So what's causing the problem? It's not just age, it's inflammation. And a lot of that inflammation starts with the foods you're eating. Processed vegetable oils, found in fried foods, packaged snacks, and even so-called healthy salad dressings are one of the biggest culprits. These oils contain high levels of omega-6 fatty acids, which, in excess, lead to chronic inflammation and poor circulation. So if you've been feeling like you're just not as strong or as energized as you used to be, cutting out these oils is a must. But there's good news. You can reverse the damage. There are specific foods that naturally boost circulation, and adding them to your diet can make a huge difference. Things like beets, which contain nitrates that help open up blood vessels. Dark chocolate. Yes, really, because of its flavonoids that improve blood flow. Even watermelon, thanks to its high levels of citrulline, which supports nitric oxide production. These aren't just random, healthy foods. They're scientifically proven to improve circulation, which directly affects your performance, endurance, and stamina. And speaking of endurance, let's talk about muscle recovery. Because if you're feeling sore for days after a workout, or if you're struggling to push through that last rep, there's something off. Your body is either lacking the right nutrients or struggling to repair itself efficiently. And one of the biggest reasons? Magnesium deficiency. Magnesium is involved in over 300 processes in your body, including muscle function, testosterone production, and energy metabolism. But here's the crazy part. Most people aren't getting enough. And without it, you're more likely to experience muscle cramps, low energy, and even poor sleep. The fix? Adding magnesium-rich foods like spinach, almonds, and dark chocolate to your diet. Or if you really want to optimize, a high-quality magnesium supplement before bed can work wonders. Now, let's get into the real game changer, hormonal balance. Because if your testosterone levels aren't where they should be, everything else suffers. And one of the sneakiest testosterone killers? Poor gut health. You see, your gut isn't just about digestion. It's directly connected to your hormones. An unhealthy gut can lead to higher levels of estrogen, which, as you now know, suppresses testosterone. And one of the biggest gut disruptors? Artificial sweeteners. A lot of people think switching to diet sodas and sugar-free products is the healthier choice, but studies show that artificial sweeteners disrupt gut bacteria, leading to inflammation, poor digestion, and even weight gain. And here's where it gets even worse. Gut health also impacts cortisol levels. So if your digestion is off, your stress hormones are likely through the roof, and that means even lower testosterone. The good news? Your gut can heal. And it starts with fiber-rich foods like leafy greens, fermented foods like sauerkraut and kimchi, and collagen-rich broths that support your gut lining. If you've been feeling off, bloated, or just not as sharp as you used to be, this could be the missing piece. Now let's talk about something that almost no one thinks about when it comes to male performance: posture. Believe it or not, the way you sit and stand affects your hormone levels. Studies show that standing in a strong, upright posture can actually increase testosterone and lower cortisol. Meanwhile, slouching, especially for long periods, does the opposite. Think about it. If you're spending hours hunched over a desk or looking down at your phone, you're compressing your diaphragm, limiting oxygen flow, and signaling stress to your body. That means more cortisol, less energy, and a weaker physical presence overall. The fix? Simple. Stand tall, roll your shoulders back, take deep, controlled breaths throughout the day, and if you work at a desk, take breaks to stretch and move. These small changes can have a surprisingly big impact on your confidence, energy, and performance. But there's one more factor we need to address: the mental game. Because no matter how optimized your diet, workouts, or hormones are, if your mindset isn't dialed in, you'll always feel like something's missing. One of the biggest killers of male confidence and performance? Comparison. Social media, unrealistic expectations, and even past failures can create a loop of self-doubt that keeps you stuck. But here's what you need to remember. You're not competing with anyone except your past self. Every step you take to improve your health, even the small ones, is a win. And the men who succeed, they're the ones who stay consistent, not the ones who wait for motivation, but the ones who show up even when it's hard. So if you take away one thing from this, let it be this: your performance isn't just about what you do in the gym. It's about everything. What you eat, how you recover, the way you manage stress, the confidence you carry. And the good news? You have control over all of it. Do you feel like you're losing yourself? That fire, strength, and confidence you used to have, it's fading, and no one's talking about why. Hormonal decline is real, and it's stealing your energy, performance, and even your relationships. But you don't have to let it. There's a proven way to restore your vitality and become the man you used to be, or even better. The solution is in the pinned comment. Don't settle for less when you can have it all. Now, it's time to take action. Start with one thing, just one, and commit to it today. Maybe it's cutting out processed junk. Maybe it's getting that extra hour of sleep. Maybe it's simply standing taller and breathing deeper. Whatever it is, start now. Because the sooner you do, the faster you'll see results. And if you found this valuable, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. And make sure you're subscribed, because we've got even more powerful insights coming your way. Your best performance starts here. Let's make it happen.